Yo, what up? It's Orange Bloods Live. We're with you. I'm Jeff. He's Chad. He's pointing. I've got no stuff on the shelves. It goes that way sometimes. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, get notifications, jump into the Specs chat it up. We'll tell you about our sponsors, Texas Card House, and all the rest throughout the show, but we want to entertain you a little bit first. And Chad, we're talking Texas running backs today. I was looking up numbers this morning as we get ready for Texas to play UTEP this weekend. It's like, what do we want to see? What needs to happen? What changes the discourse around really the whole football team? Ranked in the top 7, but still it feels like its fan base is expecting more and demanding more. And I keep coming back to a running game that is still finding itself, still looking for big plays, still looking for explosives. And with Trey Wisner likely out this week, it does give Cedric Baxter the platform to fly if he can take off.
Yeah, for me, the question that I'll throw out is sort of what is the mark we're looking for Baxter? Because if we look at the first 2 games, there's been progression. It was 10 carries against Ohio State, 40 yards. We know what that math is. Then 13 for 64. He was at 4.9 yards against San Jose State. So for you, Catch, is it about he doesn't have a rushing touchdown yet? Is it about get on the touchdown board? Is it about have a longer run than 18 yards or whatever it is? Or is it 5 yards a carry or more? Or for UTEP, do you want to see it all? Everything I just said across the board.
Well, like, you need to be able to see it all the time, but especially from UTEP. Like, there's no game that you can go into where you say, well, do you want an explosive run or not? Do you want to run for 5 yards a carry or not? You know, it's like, do you want to have any production in the passing game as out of the backfield or not? Right? Like, the answer is always yes. Can I please? Like, how do I get some of the not part, right? Because one of the things about averaging more than 5 yards a carry and then eventually getting to 6 yards a carry, right? You start thinking about that rarefied air where it's like, well, that's kind of what Vince Young averaged. And that's in the Jamal Charles territory. And that's in the Bijan Robinson, because those guys broke long runs. You're going to have days. Mama always said there'd be days like Ricky Williams had against Kansas State in Manhattan where it was like 48 yards on 20-something. Like, sometimes that happens. Over the course of a long season, the sample size accumulates. The number of touches gets into the hundreds. It evens itself out in a way where early in the year, the numbers can be wildly distorted by a single play. And the answer is yes, they need explosives. Yes, they need more against the San Jose States of the world in this weekend against a UTEP team that does tackle well. I think Jason said they are one of the better graded tackling units in college football when we recorded the Prize Pick show earlier today. And so they're not terrible. And this is the kind of team, though, that Texas is paying to deliver a butt kicking to. And I think starting with on Saturday, you need CJ Baxter to just be more productive. You need him to have an explosive run or two. And I don't mean 80 yards. Those would be nice.
Yeah,
but
20, 22.
The Texas running back group through 2 games has a long of 18 yards and only 1 carry, the before mentioned 18-yarder, longer than 15 yards. I mean, Sark said it, man. It's hard to score when you're asking yourself to go 10, 11, 12 plays and not make a mistake. It's a lot easier when the drives are 3 plays, 4 plays, 5 plays, and there are either big closing plays that get you there or big opening plays that set you up. Texas isn't getting anything from its run game that makes offense easy. And that won't be many more games on the schedule where you can check a box and say, hey, we run for 200 plus yards and get some explosives, and was everybody as productive as we'd like for them to be? That's kind of what last week should have been, and it wasn't. So I think, you know, for all of the conversation, and rightfully so, that we've had about Arch in the passing game and Ryan Wingo and all of that stuff for the past couple of weeks, This team won't take flight. It won't be a national championship contender unless the ground game gets to be a little bit more threatening than it has been, both on the ground. Let me give you a stat, and in the air, Chad. This is my favorite stat of the day.
Okay.
Last year, in I guess like 16 games, Jaden Blue had 42 catches. Okay.
All right.
Out of those 42, he had almost like 400 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns. Remember, he was a threat.
Yes, he was.
Guess how many passes CJ Baxter is on pace to catch in 12 games this year?
Oh, geez. From what we've seen, is it even 12?
42.
Is that right? 42. I don't remember him catching passes.
Caught 6 against Ohio State.
Good grief. Okay, my bad.
He's got 7 catches for 21 yards.
Okay.
Which means he's on pace to shatter the number of catches that Jaden Blue had last year. And hey, based on the current totals, he'll get to the 100-yard mark for receiving this season in week 10. Because when you're averaging 10.5 yards a game, it takes a while to get to 100.
Right.
And what I'm saying is it's not just CJ Baxter, but Trey Wisner's not healthy right now.
Yeah.
And I think the interesting thing about the Wisner thing, had somebody tell me this week that Wisner was practicing early last week. So whatever happened with Wisner probably happened in practice last week. Just something to keep an eye on. I don't know yet. You can't trust Texas when it comes to injuries, and that's fair. We will get to SEC games at some point. They at least have to put like questionable or doubtful or something on it. Although to be fair, Sark did say Trey Wisner was doubtful.
Yes, that's true. Tip of the cap to Birmingham for making them do the injury reports. We do have fun with those every year now.
Like I don't know that anybody has high expectations for Jarrett Gibson and or Christian Clark at this point. We haven't even seen either of the freshmen. So it does feel like a lot is on CJ Baxter's plate that he has to carry the mantle in a game against UTEP. And like, if he doesn't, it will be, I'm just telling you right now, we're going to talk the hell out of it. If Saturday night or Monday morning or Monday afternoon, we're going into San Jose State and the running game still can't crack a very low bar at 5 yards a carry. I don't feel like I'm asking for the moon to get out of the 4s.
No, I think you're asking for something very reasonable there. If you guys want to throw us a super chat, we will get those. Couple of quick chats that have come in. Tom G, I think maybe going a step too far. I would also like to see Simon this week. He can't be worse. Catch Tom G chatting, he can't be worse is not a good sign for this run game through 2 games. This thing needs to pick up pretty quickly.
Where Tom is right is like, look, they could put you and me out there and not get explosive runs.
That's true. I guarantee you I would not get a 20-yard run.
I don't care how big the hole is. We're not going for 20, but you know what? The same is true of the guys they have on scholarship right now.
Yeah.
Now, look, instead of 4.8 or whatever, Chad and I might average 0.8, but that's not the point.
1.3, guaranteed. I get you 1.3.
You're the Walt Garrison of Walt Garrisons.
Yeah, I'm the weak-ass Walt Garrison. I'm even worse than Walt.
You know what they say about old Chad Hastings? If you need 0.3 yards, he'll get you 0.3 yards. If you need 3 yards, he'll get you 0.3 yards.
Hell yeah.
I just, it really almost doesn't seem fair that this is the position that CJ Baxter is in going into week 3, coming off of the major injury. It wasn't a little more than a month ago where Sark was like, we're going to hold him back. We need him late more than we need him early. And then it was like, hey, kind of like what we're seeing from CJ. And then CJ last week listed as a co-starter at running back, I guess before Sark was using language like we have a 1A and a 1B. Dude, if you're the starting running back at the University of Texas, man, you have to be a star. There's no room for pretty good. Pretty good should be fourth string. You know who I thought was pretty good, Chad? Savion Red. But I didn't think pretty good was good enough at Texas. Not if you want to beat Georgia, not if you want to beat Ohio State. If you want to beat UTEP, those are the kind of players that will do it like no problem. But the bar ultimately, and that's why this ground game's got to be good this weekend. It's why they've got to bust UTEP upside the head a little bit, because the goal is later on in the season, there will be bigger challenges, better teams, and that you're going to want to actually accomplish the things in those games that you haven't yet accomplished in 2 games. It does have to start somewhere.
All right, I got a couple follow-ups for Catch on this run game, but obviously a couple of y'all do too. Super chats are already coming in. We will get right to them after we remind you where you can come watch the game with us. Right there in the middle of the afternoon this week. Sleep in and then come see us at TCH Social Austin 183 and Anderson Mill. We'll be watching on that giant screen, then get piled into the YouTube channel right here on OB Live at the 2-minute warning. I'm guessing it's 2-minute warning again if it's Texas and UTEP. We'll see. Lowy Law Firm sponsors that post-game show, so come see us. Also, for you online poker players, remember, inside the state of Texas, that's all you got to do. Just be in Texas. You can play Hijack Poker, hijackpoker.com. Put it on any device you want and get to playing. All right, Catch, we got a couple super chats. Our man Tom G did jump in with a little money. Thank you, Tom. $10. Catch, rank the running backs. I think Gibson is our best, but can't hang on to the ball. I also want to see what Simon has to offer, referencing his other chat. You got a ranking on running backs?
No. Wisner 1, Gibson 2. I probably have them in the order that I've seen them. I don't know why you think Jarrett Gibson is the best, other than you're so down on the other guys, you're defaulting him into the top spot. But he is a lesser version of CJ Baxter. Whatever we think that is, I don't think he's as good as Baxter. I don't think he's as explosive as Baxter.
Is it just it could just be recency bias with Tom G? He was in the game against maybe backups, and then he had a little production before the fumble.
Yeah, I mean, this team needs a running game.
Oh yeah.
If the coaches thought that Jarrett Gibson was within 100-foot pole of the guys that they were playing, they wouldn't have waited until the fourth quarter to put him in the game. Now, maybe he gets some earlier playing time this week. I don't know, but I'm letting you know I've never seen it with Jarrett Gibson. I've been very consistent on that. I've said it all the way back to when he was a recruit and I had Christian Clark, a non-Achilles heel torn Christian Clark, who is still ahead of him on the depth chart. I had him ranked ahead of Jarrett Gibson. And I think it's honestly, we're going to keep it a buck. Like, what are we doing? Jarrett Gibson is behind. They're in the same class. One guy had an Achilles heel tear. The other guy didn't. And the guy that's coming off the Achilles injury is ahead on the depth chart. And from a usage standpoint, ahead of the guy that's had a year head start on him and is healthy and has not had a guys. Sometimes you got to say stuff out loud to yourself. And when you hear it, you'll go, oh, that doesn't make any sense, does it? And I think, sadly, I think when we talk, and it's why I'm putting so much pressure on CJ Baxter. I don't feel good about it, Tom. Again, it doesn't feel right. Yeah. But look, I don't know about the rest of you if you've seen that movie Unforgiven. But at the end of the movie, when Lil Bill's got that shotgun pointed at his face and he's like, I didn't deserve to die like this. And Clint Eastwood literally looks that man in the eye and says, deserves got nothing to do with it. And shoots that man in the face. That wasn't right. That wasn't right. But you know what? Sometimes deserves ain't got nothing to do with it. Texas, the expectations for this program are to compete for a national championship. In order to do that, the running game and the offensive line as a byproduct have to be able to perform at certain levels that make that a viable option when the biggest moments of the season arrive. That's what we're talking about. That's the bar. So if we start getting into the Jarrett Gibson part of the answers, it's a depressing outlook, if you ask me.
I got one other super chat here. Catch leading towards the offensive line in this discussion. $4.99 from Blake. I noticed the running game was better when Neto was in after the rewatch. Think we shuffle the depth chart.
It's very possible, Blake. It's funny. You guys haven't seen the video yet, but I mentioned earlier that we recorded the Prize Pick show that'll come out tomorrow earlier. So it's me, it was Alex, Cody, Jason. And Alex, Alex, you're doing the deep dig grades right now for the offensive line. He made a comment about Connor Stroh that piqued my interest. And he basically summed it up like, you can't make it in the run game if your left guard is being blown back behind the line of scrimmage on the average of once out of every 3 plays. And like, he said that number specifically as like he didn't. It wasn't one of those where I felt like he was off the cuff throwing. I felt like he's in the middle of grading Connor Stroh.
Yeah,
and Connor Stroh is in the middle of a performance that got Neto back on the field and saw more snaps on. Yes, Blake. Yes.
Yeah,
they are gonna make it up as they go at left guard until either someone takes that job by the horns or someone gets horned to death.
Somebody else has a question about the run game. If you want to throw super chats our way, feel free. We got buy or sell coming up as well. Also, let me thank the great folks at Sinus and Snoring Specialist. This one is simple. It's how you feeling, how you doing, take care of yourself, and all that stuff. I'm trying to take care of myself. I just got on some blood pressure medication, and I'm getting a checkup on that in a couple weeks. I went and gave blood yesterday. You did a blood draw to make sure. But when it comes to the sinus stuff and the allergy stuff and the snoring and sleep apnea, I dealt with all that in 2017 with these folks. Sinus and Snoring Specialists, 601-0303. Call them, text them securely on that number, or go to sinussnoringent.com. Look at the videos they've got there for you. Give them a call. Check it out. They will treat you right, and they'll get it all taken care of. Feel clear, rested, and healthy at Sinus and Snoring Specialist. You will not be disappointed. Please tell them that you heard about it here on OB Live. Catch this super chat is a five.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the blood pressure medication club.
Hey, man, I felt like half a man just doing cholesterol. Now I got cholesterol and blood pressure. We're trying to balance it all out.
It feels like you're growing up over there in front of the Hall of Helmets. Let me just say this.
The Hall of Helmets now trying to keep its blood pressure dealt with.
Do yourself a favor and really memorize the name of your blood pressure medication.
Okay.
Because I have like a few meds that I take, and I really just take them, and I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to them.
Yeah.
And I ran out of one medication earlier this summer and thought it was like bonus medication. I was like, oh, they have me take that, but it's not like my blood pressure medication. Like a week went by, and when I refilled the prescription, it was like, this is for blood pressure, and I was like, like, oh crap, that's not good that I didn't take it. So I'm just letting you know, as a new member of the blood pressure medication club,
keep it in your head what it is.
Just remember that one for sure.
There you go. I'll make sure to do that. Michael's looking for a number for this week, Catch. $5. How many yards do you guys think Texas needs to rush for it to be a great day Saturday? I'm thinking a minimum of 200. Michael wants 2 Bills on the ground. Do you agree?
No doubt. No doubt.
It? Okay.
I mean, and I think that they're going to force the issue. And because this ground game's got to get better. Connor Stroh has to get better. Neto has to get better. When do they have to get better by? Well, look. And I know you guys will say something like, whoa, how good was South Florida's offensive line? They went into games. I hear you. I do. But right now, the truth of the matter might be that South Florida has better interior offensive line play than Texas. And whatever we think of Florida, those dudes have big defensive linemen who are athletic. I promise you. They did last year. It didn't make a difference in the game, but I was at the Florida game in person. You guys remember I did that last year. And one of the things I noticed about Florida was like, they got some good looking. They just rotating them in. They didn't make a difference in the game, but I was like, oh, this is what it looks like when you recruit in the SEC. I promise you, it gets more difficult than San Jose State. And Texas had problems with those interior guys from San Jose State. And the coaches will know that. They're going to run the ball 40 plus times this weekend. It would behoove them to crack 200 for sure.
Thank you for that super chat, Michael. Let me see. I think that cleans us up on super chat. So a couple quick questions, Catch. As we speak, do you think Arch Manning is one of the two best running backs on this team? He's at 4.4 a carry, and Baxter's at 4.5. And just a thought. If I asked you to list the best runners, is he one or two?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
I do wonder as this goes along, will we see any more of those, any more designs for him to try to help the run game along? The other question I have for you is back to Baxter, just real quick. Anything for you that's still lingering with that injury, or are you hearing that for them it's all speed ahead, full speed ahead, Sark saying he fired him up and all that? Like, are they considering him absolutely back and we can expect Baxter to be Baxter once again, whatever that means?
Man, I do not give a fuck what Steve Sarkisian or anybody in that program says about CJ Baxter's health this year. I won't have expectations for him to be 100% until next year. This is not like one of these injuries where we go, hey, what's an ACL?
Right.
No, we know how these injuries work. Now, we do know that some guys come back earlier than others and
right,
they're freaks.
So then what I'm essentially
asking. We also know that there are a bunch of guys that it takes 24 months. And okay. I am in what will my expectations for CJ Baxter be? I will not, no matter what they say, my expectations for him to be 100% will not arrive until 2026. If he's averaging 5.5 yards a carry at the end of this season, my response will be, I actually think he'll probably be better next year. Like, my expectations are, unless he has an injury setback, we won't get the best of CJ Baxter for another 11 months.
Okay, so then without Wisner in the lineup and this offensive line looking like it's looking, is it fair to ask CJ Baxter to go out there this Saturday and give you a touchdown, 5.5 a carry, and a 25-yard run? Is that fair?
Did I not just do the little Bill deserves ain't got nothing to do with it speech?
I understand. I'm not talking about deserves. I'm just
well, that's where that originated from, Chad. It's not fair.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, it is not fair that this is where we are, but fair ain't got nothing to do with it. Because, and look, we don't even know what's really going on with Trey Wisner. If he's got a knee injury, I don't like those. There are not a lot of knee injuries where they're like, oh, he'll be back in 9 days. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We'll see. But I think it was very telling that Trey Wisner was doubtful on Monday, as opposed to, we'll see how it goes this week. That's usually Sark's MO. He was doing that when Quinn Ewers had like a broken body, and we all knew that Quinn was a month away from playing, and Sark was like, oh, it's day to day. That he didn't do that with Wisner should be sending alarm bells off for all of us that pay attention to such things, right? Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, look, if he's out a week, I don't think he'll be back by Sam Houston State. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you'd sit him out for those 2 games and then not let him have 2 more weeks of rest.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially with that bye. There's no way.
Yeah, right. So it just stands to reason that they're just going to let him. But what that means is Texas is going to go into the Florida and Oklahoma with what it has in the run game. And when, if that's when Trey Wisner is reintroduced to the lineup, he won't have played since Columbus. So we literally at that point are flipping the roles. What would we expect from Trey Wisner if he hasn't played since the game in Columbus? What's the workload in the next 2 weeks with no buildup, no success, the line, all of these pieces haven't worked together? Like, I think we get to a point where, unless Baxter doesn't stay healthy in these next couple of weeks, where it's probably when Wisner first comes back, it's got to be at least an even timeshare with maybe an advantage towards Baxter. Because Wisner's not going to come back and it's like, okay, give him 20 today in Gainesville. That feels
right.
Like
it's got to be a split. Yeah.
So what Texas needs then is, look, so what are we saying? Barring an injury, CJ Baxter is a really, really, really important player for certainly the Florida game, right? Now, maybe Wisner comes back, gets 8 carries for 75 yards against Florida, and we're like, oh, he's back. Maybe. But there's, I think, a better chance that they work him back in, that he probably has no more than 25 combined carries in those 2 games. If he even plays, like, we'll have to see. Like, what is the injury? So CJ Baxter, here we are. And it's incredibly disappointing that the recruiting hasn't been better, because what they really need is somebody from the last 2 recruiting classes to be on the damn field. Yeah. And last year's recruiting class hasn't yet done it yet with Jarrett Gibson and Christian Clark, and neither of the 2 freshmen have pushed themselves ahead of 2 guys that look pretty average to my naked eye early on. So they got 6 running backs on the roster, and not one of them feels like a game breaker. Not one of them has emerged as a third down running back option that can give Texas more out of the backfield than CJ Baxter as a receiver. Baxter, he of the 3-point yards per reception variety. You think about Baxter is averaging 3 yards a carry or 3 yards a reception. DeAndre Moore is averaging 6 yards a reception. Ryan Wingo's averaging 10 yards a reception. Think about where this Texas offense and what we thought it was. We thought this Texas offense was going to live down the field.
Yep.
The numbers tell us they're playing in a phone booth. One of the things that changes that is a running game that teams have to respect a little bit more than I think teams respect the Texas running game right now.
Yeah. Got a couple super chats we will get to. Buy or sell is coming up as well. Also, talk about a couple kinds of drinking today. If you want to drink on site, how about the Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room? There's a couple of those martinis. I'm warning you now, the key lime pie martini is deadly. Absolutely deadly good. Be careful. Proceed with caution. It is so good. Remember to bring those martini glasses back for the discounted refill. We were out there to get the season started. Outdoor seating, indoor seating. It's an awesome location. Go check them out. The Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room, Wednesdays through Sundays. The hours, let me flash those up real quick again. There you go. Wednesday through Sunday. They are ready for you at the Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room. All right, we got 2 super chats, if I'm not mistaken, and the first one looks like this. Joshy Manning, Esquire, father of 1. Well played. $4.99. So Flood is the scapegoat if the offense sucks, right? Wow.
I mean, I think that, you know, the offensive line is its own conversation that we're not really having today, but it does go hand in hand with this conversation piece. It has to be better. I don't know that scapegoat is the Joshy Manning, Esquire, father of 1. I have a saying that is a little bit of a drinking game around here. So everybody get ready.
Uh-oh.
But sometimes an excuse is just the reason why something happens. There you go, Chad. And when we look at, like, if this running game doesn't take off, you're saying, you know, when you say so Flood is a scapegoat, that makes me think, Joshy, that you don't think there would be some legitimate scapegoat feels like a harsh word. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading your phrasing of this, but every team in the SEC, except for, I believe, Texas and Vanderbilt, took offensive linemen in the portal this year. I believe like 13 or 14 of the teams took multiple offensive linemen in the portal this year. Texas knew who they were going to need to depend on. They knew that they were going to need to depend on Neto. They knew they were going to depend on Cole Hudson. And they knew that if either of those guys got hurt, they're going to probably have to lean on Connor Stroh or Connor Robertson. That's not even getting into the discussion at tackle. They made a conscious decision to not go into the portal for any offensive line help. They haven't done it since Sarkisian has been here the entire time. If the offensive line doesn't get better, is calling Flood a scapegoat the right phrasing, or would it simply be some of Flood's strategy backfired and played a big part in maybe why this part of the offense hasn't been able to take flight? That's not unfair. That it's not. Like, and look, when you have a program that is covered by a YouTube channel that has 140,000 subscribers, and then there's another channel that's got more than that, that doesn't let you, people care, man. We're doing a show right now. All we've talked about on the entire show is the Texas running backs. We are so hyper-focused on this team. Oh, that was fun.
A little confetti for the,
Well, here, flip us. Flip us. Put me on. Yeah, now do it again.
Now again?
Well, yeah. Hey. You didn't get any, really. Like there.
Oh, I see. You wanted me.
Like it felt like, since it just felt unfair that.
I like that you were worried about digital confetti distribution. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm a team player, man.
You're trying to be fair. Trying to be fair.
So, Joshy, like, look, there's a lot of components to this, but that's part of it too. And I don't like the word scapegoat, because part of the failures right now are Kyle Flood's doing. Like, they are. Like, that's his group.
Yeah. Joshy, thank you.
When Jaden Blue fumbled the ball last year, Chad, people were like, look, what's Tashard Choice doing? His only job is to make sure those dudes don't fumble.
Right.
And when Jaden Blue went to the NFL and he went there with a fumbling reputation, a little bit was on the coaching. It was like,
right. And if they go to Gainesville and they block bad and they're sloppy and the offensive line costs them something, Flood's going to get ripped.
Because none of it will have been an accident. It's not like they showed up and went, Cole Hudson. No, that's not what happened.
Well, because Catch, I did a couple rewatches yesterday. I saw Pregnon playing for Oregon, and of course I thought about Texas and Kyle Flood, and I saw, of course, Fasusi starting at left tackle for Oklahoma, and I thought, yep, there he is too. I mean,
and Michael Fasusi is going to be a first-round draft pick. He's probably going to be their version of Kelvin Banks.
Yep, I watched that whole game, and one time I think Kirk Herbstreit talked about him getting flat-footed on a play. That was it.
I mean, what do we always say? It's not that 5 stars don't hit. It's that when they do, their booms go bigger boom than almost anybody else's booms. Yep. And we saw it with Kelvin Banks. And I think, he's going to see it with Michael Fasusi. You couldn't have started. But, the Fasusi thing ultimately comes down to, like, he just wanted to go to Oklahoma. Texas missed on Pregnon because ultimately the money was similar between Oregon, not too dissimilar from the DeCorian Moore deal. Like, in the end, at the time of the decision, the money was basically a wash. Now, I think Texas would have gone higher had they known now or known then what they know now, kind of a thing, which more than anything else was they weren't going to get anybody else that popped their heads into the portal as good as Pregnon. I can't imagine they thought this will be the only guy we definitely want to go get, because they didn't treat it like that. They treated him like, yeah, we're not going to let you disrupt whatever it is that we pay other guys on our team. And I bet that doesn't happen in December this year or January this year.
I think you're right. By the way, side comment, Catch, after watching Decory and Moore do that to Mike Gundy, I was kind of glad to see that he doesn't just bust up Waxahachie. He busts up everybody. Holy smokes. By the way, Juan, to be fair to your super chat, it's off topic, so I'm going to hold it for a second. We'll get there, I promise. But first, let's hear from Specs. Then we're going to buy or sell, and then we'll get to your super chat. I promise.
Shop Specs! 60 years in the Lone Star State. A one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
Which way to Specs?
Come on, let's go.
Specs, fine spirits and finer foods. World-class service, that's all about you. Shop Specs!
It's how we do. A huge selection since 62.
Shop Specs!
Low priced, amazing. Here's to you.
Shop.
Cheers to savings.
Overweight lover. I see your super chat as well. We will get to that. Catch, are you ready to buy or sell?
I mean, yeah. I'm going to go
Okay.
second because I don't have the questions written down because you and I know the reasons why, but nevertheless.
Right, exactly. I got it. No, we got it. All right. I will start us off. I'm just wondering. Buy or sell number one. If they played on Saturday, you'd pick Texas over OU in a one-score game.
Buy. Yeah, if they played Saturday, I think that would be a very close game.
Okay. Buy or sell number two. This week, in actuality, Texas hangs 50+ on UTEP.
Buy. I was the only one, though, on the Orange Blood staff on the Prize Picks prediction show that had Texas crossing 50.
Oh, okay.
FYI.
Everybody else going to need to see it. All right. Buy or sell number three, Catch. You will keep up with Dallas and the Giants, but you won't focus on it.
What time's kickoff?
Noon.
I mean, I definitely won't be watching right at kickoff. There's a soccer match at 10:30 that will end.
Oh,
Not even Liverpool, Chad.
that really hurts me as a
I mean,
Cowboy.
I'll have them both up at the same time.
Okay.
I'll red zone channel it,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
but I'll have the soccer on right in front of me, and the red zone will be over like in the corner until
Okay.
the soccer's over with.
Gotcha. Catch
To
buyers.
be fair, the early part of the noon games, it can be on a backup TV.
Buy or sell number four, Catch. Your belief in the Aggies' ability to win 9 hinges on winning in South Bend. Buy or sell?
Sell.
Okay.
No, I mean, it would help a lot, but the Aggies are really, it's funny. Aggie fans will act like I hate them and don't say positive. They're really talented, guys. Like, it is one of the most talented rosters in college football. And Marcel Reed looks pretty good. And they're just not terrible. So I don't think I'm not looking at this. Maybe the way that I looked at Texas and Ohio State and Texas at Georgia, where it's like, in order to get to 11-1, they have to win one of those two games. I don't know that A&M has a ton of absolutes on their schedule that they can't make up if either they were to win or lose. If they were to win, I don't know that means they're absolutely going to win 9, and I don't mean it means that they lose.
All right, Catch. Finally, one of my faves has a birthday, so here we go. Buy or sell number 5. Cowboy legend Charlie Waters is 77 today. You can tell me where he played college football.
Buy. That's my mom's. Like, I think she would have made babies with Charlie Waters if it hadn't been illegal, because she didn't turn 18 until he was already on the Cowboys.
Okay.
To be fair, she had me 1 month after she turned 18. So
Damn.
maybe Charlie had a chance.
Mama Ketchum's business just getting thrown out on the show today. Damn.
Sorry, Mom. Didn't mean for you to catch a stray. But
Mama Ketchum math on the show today. Damn. What the hell?
I'm just saying she liked Charlie Waters.
Okay. That's not all you said, to be fair.
I mean, she liked Charlie Waters.
Okay. I dig 41 too.
He went to Oregon.
He did not.
He didn't? Where did he go?
Clemson.
Oh, I got that. Samsonite.
I like the confidence too. I thought you were walking right to it.
I'm going to fact check you later
Double
because
check me,
I was
yes.
so convinced it was Oregon.
Double check me. I believe it is in fact Clemson. All right, that's my 5 catch. What do you got?
Buy or sell number 1. You think by the time we do tomorrow's show, there will be shit on my shelves?
Buy. Absolute buy. I have actually expanded the Hall of Helmets in the last couple days, so I think that's going to force you to throw something behind you. Yes.
It's pure laziness up until now. But I did shave today, so
Yeah.
not outright lazy. I sent some email. I've done some work. So
Hey, catch.
by 1 o'clock.
Catch. I got Texas State, Arizona State, man. Come on. I mean, we're going deep in the Hall of Helmets this week. I got 15 college matchups behind me right now. Let's go, brother.
Buy or sell number 2, CJ Baxter this weekend against Utah.
Ooh.
Breaks off at least a single 25-plus yard run.
25 plus. I'm saying buy. CB4, I believe in you. I want you to fire Sark up again in an actual game. I'm buying.
Buy or sell number 3, just to be clear, as it relates to CJ Baxter, you don't quite understand Sark's love for him yet.
Oh, that's a buy too. Football wise.
Yeah, of course.
There's something obviously about the kid, about the dude. Sark's he's into him. He likes he's close to him. I get it. I get that part. Football wise, no, I haven't seen it yet. We need to see, like, if you're going to wear 4 as a running back and be called CB4 and he's got a cool name, now he needs to live up to all of it. Like, let us see what Sark sees, but I don't think we've seen it yet.
Buy or sell number 4, you would give up all of Texas A&M's offensive line class from a year ago for Michael Fasusi.
Wow. Remind me how many guys the Aggies got in their offensive line class?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. You don't remember?
It really is about principles at this point.
Yeah. What the hell? Bye.
Yeah. And I would if I was in Texas too. Like they'd all be gone.
Bye.
I would look at them. My favorite part of the Cowboys documentary on Netflix is when they get to the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah.
And Jerry's like, I think he thought we were just going to keep all those. What they don't even tell in the story is that they did keep most of those guys. They held the Vikings over a barrel to such an extent that they basically kept those guys, at least some of them, and they made the Vikings just take some scraps back. I can't even remember what the final thing was, but they got like a draft pick back, but it wasn't any of the big ones. I liked it when they showed the clips of Granny getting upset at Herschel getting traded.
Hey, all these years later, Catch, I still don't fully understand the Herschel Walker trade. I'll be honest. Like, it still boggles my mind. Even though to hear the re-explanation, I'm like, the NFL allowed for that kind of stuff back? That's weird.
What they didn't do is put the full haul.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Right. They didn't really show you what it turned into because it was silly.
It really was. Anyway, and finally, buy or sell number 5. Trying to come up with a hotter than. This one to me is, let's just settle it.
Okay.
It's classic 80s TV.
All right.
I'm going Fall Guy versus TJ Hooker. Heather versus Heather.
Oh, no.
Prime on prime.
Mm-hmm.
Heather Thomas, hotter than Heather Locklear.
Okay. Let me just
Because I feel like this was the conversation of the 80s.
It was. Let me just clarify. You said prime on prime, but you also said TJ Hooker versus Fall Guy. Which is it?
Because TJ Hooker was in the 80s.
Right. But if
I'm
I don't
letting you go whatever prime to answer the question.
Okay.
Because most of Heather Locklear's TV stuff was on in the 90s. But
Yeah.
I feel like
Okay.
the Heather versus Heather topic started in the 80s.
Here's how I think the discussion goes then. Because I think both of them get a win depending on how you phrase it. But here's how you phrased it. You said prime on prime. So you said prime on prime. Did you say Thomas first?
Yes.
Okay, that's a sell. I'm going Locklear. Had you gone straight up TJ Hooker versus Fall Guy, Thomas wins. Prime on prime, it's Locklear. That's where I'm going. I think Heather Locklear's prime is hotter than Heather Thomas in Fall Guy. Bold statement.
I'm going to need to do some homework and I'll
Bold.
go tomorrow where I officially stand on this matter.
I know it's bold. Hey, you know what? Rex disagrees. Rex says Thomas, and it ain't close. Rex?
I mean, I'm not arguing with you. Sometimes there are no wrong answers, but
it's a hell of a moment. And then, of course, Sandman puts Dua Lipa into every one of our hotter than discussions, no matter who's actually in.
I don't know that Dua Lipa wants that smoke.
Sandman goes Dua Lipa every time. It does not
I mean,
matter.
I love Dua Lipa, but even Dua Lipa would be like, the Heathers, come on.
That is so good.
Did we have a super chat that was off topic?
We did have a super chat that was off topic. And okay.
Wrap us up. Give us the super chat off topic.
Here it is. Jeff, I want to know how you would handle the Phillies Karen if that happened to your son.
First of all, I can't believe that story's almost a week old and we're still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I can't believe that woman hasn't been found yet. 2 different times people have alleged on social media that first she was in some school district and the school district put out a memo saying that we've never had a woman that isn't her. And oh, by the way, if she worked in our school district, she would have caught the ball. Touche. Funny. And then the other one was like this other person who was a Red Sox fan and had to put a Red Sox emblem on their social media to like fend off people who thought she might be crazy lady Phillies fan. Couple of things that would have never happened to me because I would not have tried to catch. I would not have gone over to catch the home run ball. I am terrible. First of all, I'm like a guitar player, Chad, in that I view my hands as really like I can't do what I do without my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't just stick my hands out at missiles. Man, I went to Fenway Park once and sat on the Green Monster and watched guys hit balls. Those balls are coming in there like missiles.
Right.
Missiles.
But in this case, you just have to walk over there and reach over and pick it up.
Yeah, but you got to walk. You got to want to walk over.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Okay,
so you're closer to the ball in the air.
Okay. You just wouldn't have been over there. Okay.
But how would I, in a world where I wasn't a coward and I didn't value my hands and any of that stuff,
you end up with the ball.
Let me stick my hand out and catch a fast-moving missile. What could happen?
Let's say your wife got the ball and handed it to you and you handed it to your son.
That's more likely to happen.
There you go. And then the woman confronts you.
I'd like to think that I could handle it with the grace that guy did. But I probably would have cussed that lady out. I don't often these days agree with Stephen A.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw Stephen A. where he, essentially was like, I can't let the terrorists win. And I don't know how that ends.
Right.
It doesn't end with me giving her the ball.
Yeah. No.
Because the thing is, like, I saw somebody post this on Orange Bloods. It was like, well, he came into her like space. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Like, we've seen people, we know what happens when a baseball has actual value.
Right. Plus, it wasn't her space.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, that's not her space. That's the row ahead of her. That's not her space.
I mean, it is all love. Once her hands are on the ball, and I'm even okay with one, it doesn't have to be 2. It's hers.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that.
No, that didn't happen. Juan, you didn't ask me, but I would ask the woman to sit down next to us, and then she and my son and me, we would have a discussion, and I would make her explain it to my son in such a way that my son wants to reach into his glove and hand her back the ball. Otherwise, she needs to go back to her seat. That's how I'd handle it. I would make her explain it out loud to that child. Forget about me. I'm not important in that discussion. Explain it to the child. Please explain to my son why you deserve the baseball. And if he chooses to give it to you, he can do it. But as of right now, it's here.
I'm the best version of the thing is, it's his birthday. The literal.
Was it his birthday?
Yes.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
It's the kid's birthday. You've lived the dopamine hit that you must be feeling as you get a home run ball. And it was a Phillies player.
She's Cruella DeVille. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so good. So good.
They haven't found her is amazing. Who in 2025 is looked and found. Like, people have been looking for her for a week and they haven't found her. That's wild.
That is so bizarre. Overweight lover, I see that super chat about Wingo. We will get to that before we wrap as well. Let's hear from AV Consultations real quick. Here's Tom telling you about what they do.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations, and we'd like to take a moment to thank all of our clients for making the last 37 years both fun and fruitful. If you haven't yet, I'd like to invite you to give us a try for all your home electronics needs. There's no need to leave your home to find great pricing and incomparable service. No traffic, inexperienced sales geeks, or pushy showroom tactics. We come to you. So just relax, hug your kids, and smile. We handle all the work. Just give us a call at 255-8678 or online at avconsultations.com.
The Phillies, Karen. Okay, overweight lover, $4.99. When is a good time to talk about Stonehands Wingo? When should Texas be concerned? Oh, we're a ways from that. That's not.
No, man, I'm concerned on Saturday if he doesn't have a breakout.
Yeah, the concern about Wingo for me, it's not about that. It's not about drops. It's just about getting him engaged and involved and going. It's about the fact that they went to Columbus, and I don't think Sark made the argument to us, Catch, that Wingo is his guy. And I was shocked at that. Like, that's your best wide receiver, right? That's the guy you have to get involved, just like Smith, right? And Sark's response was, nah, not really. Not really.
Thing is, man, they got to have somebody who's that guy. The target share at this point, Wingo's the only one in double digits. He's got 16. I think Livingston has 9. I think Injuries has 8. I think Moore has 8. They're throwing the ball to Wingo roughly twice the amount of times they're throwing it to other people, and he's doing nothing with it. And that has to change, or somebody has to fill that void and be a true one. I know people want to point toward Parker and say, well, that guy's definitely the guy. Man, it's different when you're not getting the other team's third corner, or teams aren't dictating coverage. You know, when, you know, like Parker will see a little bit more of it this week. Like, he's just not going to, like, if you were the other team's defensive coordinator this week, you might take your chances with Ryan Wingo a little bit more than you would just let Parker Livingston eat against the third best corner at UTEP. Not happening.
Livingston and Injuries, to me, Catch, feel like a badass 2-3. To me, they don't feel like a badass 1-2. That's a different football team if they're the 1-2. If you get Wingo going and then it's Wingo, Livingston, Injuries, that feels like it makes a little more sense. And then you're going to figure out ways to work more. And when he gets back, Mosley in and all that. But yeah, I'm with you.
What would Bill Belichick do?
Bill Belichick would hopefully throw Wingo the ball.
No, Belichick would double Livingston.
Oh, you're saying defensively? Yes, absolutely.
And then put his best guy on Wingo.
Yep.
And be like, beat us.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that cleans us up with super chats. Since we have a moment, Catch, this one's been haunting me the whole show. I just want your reaction to it. Trills Mac. OU is playing real SEC football right now. They're looking strong on both sides. Texas got to get better immediately. Is this how you see things after you watched OU Michigan? Kind of why I saved it.
Dude, you carried your coach off the field on the player's shoulders. I'll be honest, I don't remember the last time I saw that in the SEC.
Well, I bet you in Nashville last year, they might have carried Clark Lee off that field.
I don't remember that happening.
I don't either, but I'm guessing. I know they carried Pavia off that field. Come on now.
All I'm saying, look, Trills, OU, first of all, I don't know what Michigan is. That's a Michigan team that's 2 years removed from a national championship. They had a little bit of the 06 Texas Longhorns going. If you'll remember, in 06, Texas brought back a lot of their offensive line from that national championship team. Michigan was able to do that up front on defense. That was a Michigan team breaking in a freshman quarterback, turnover on the lines. I don't know. I don't know. I think they are strong on the defensive line. It's not that they look strong. They are strong on the defensive line.
Yeah, those two defenses in Dallas is a really interesting matchup. And obviously it's not direct, we know, but those two defenses showing up, it's a nasty game waiting to happen.
I'm going to wait. Their running game, they're giving Torrey Blaylock a lot of carries as a true freshman, and at least they did in that game.
Well, that's another key. Catch, let me ask you the same question about OU. Do you think Mateer is one of the two best running backs they have?
No. Well, I don't think so. They've got the odd kid who transferred in from Cal, who I've never thought was special, but has been a plus running back at this level. I think he only had like 4 carries for 9 yards or something like that. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe that was an injury.
He was invisible.
I don't remember in the game that I don't. Their running game looks a lot like Texas's right now in that it's okay. You wouldn't have described it as a disaster, but they didn't have any explosives. It's really hard to find a running back that's like 5 yards a carry. So I don't know how that I'm going to go gaga for that offensive line just yet, but does Texas need to get better immediately? No, not really. They need to be better by October.
Yep.
I mean, that is, and I would say the same thing about Oklahoma now. Like that Michigan game was its own season.
Right. They got Auburn in 2 weeks. They need to be decent they need to be pretty good that day.
True. Where's that game, by the way?
OU.
That'll give them a little bit of grace. I will say this, man. Auburn is the team. I know we got to wrap up. Auburn is the team in the SEC that I think people are sleeping on that's better than people think, is more talented than people think. Their roster is almost as talented as Texas A&M's. Texas A&M's got one of the most talented rosters in college football. Auburn's quietly got the same kind of thing going on.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. That one's in Norman with Jackson Arnold coming back in a couple weeks. Remember last year it was the pick 6 at Auburn is the only reason OU even won the game. So they're going to return that one in a couple weeks. All right. Thank you guys for jumping in. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. Catch mentioned it during the show. Thank you all for getting us to 140,000 subscribers.
And here's what I'd like. Guys, jump into the comment section. Let us know what you want to see from CJ Baxter on Saturday. What is a successful CJ Baxter performance? Let us know in the comments section. We'll peruse. We'll join the commentary as well, but I'm curious.
Yep. And we'll be back tomorrow at noon for another edition of